We are kicking off 2020's coverage of smartphones with a new Realme device. This is the Realme 5i. Now this is supposed to replace the Realme 5, a phone that's gone out of stock. A new Realme phone replacing an old Realme phone. Is it an upgrade? Does it cost more? What's going on? Well, let's unbox it first and take a close look at the Realme 5i. Hey guys, Ash here from C4E Tech, and if you do end up liking what you see in this video, please turn on notifications by hitting that bell icon. Let's get this video started. The Realme 5i comes in a bright yellow box. We have the 5i name to the front, printed in a huge bold font, and some Realme branding to the bottom. The sides have similar Realme 5i branding. Turning the box over, we see some important specs mentioned at the back. We then have this sticker that tells us this is the forest green colored 5i in the 464 RAM storage configuration. We have yet another sticker at the bottom. We have some specs printed on here, no pricing details though. Anyway, we spent enough time with the packaging, so let's now grab our unboxing knife, slice through the plastic wrap and open this one up. Inside we have another yellow box. This one contains the SIM ejector pin, some documentation. Now putting these aside, let's focus on the main attraction, the star of the show, the Realme 5i. Peeling off the plastic cover, the sticker to the back. So this back, it's changed, it's a matte finish now, but it still manages to reflect light. Let's talk more about it in a bit. So what else is in the box? It's pretty much the same things we've seen with the Realme 5, the 10 watt adapter, a micro USB cable. So let's get back to the 5i. So just like the Realme 5, the 5S, the 5i, it's got a lot in common with these two phones. I mean, if the name isn't a dead giveaway in itself, just look at the fronts. They're pretty much identical. The back though, it's been tweaked slightly with each iteration. The original Realme 5 came with a glossy plastic back with a gradient color changing pattern. The 5S brought about a new red variant to the mix. And now with the 5i, we've got a textured finish that's really grippy, doesn't pick up fingerprints or smudges that much, and still somehow manages to have this color changing pattern. Under the right light, it manages to look quite good. Now that's not the only big change here. We have another one to the front as well. And no, I'm not talking about the screen, it's this tiny notch up front. More precisely, it's the selfie camera in this tiny notch up front. The 5i now has a 8 megapixel selfie snapper instead of the 13 megapixel selfie snapper that we had on the Realme 5 and the 5S. Side by side, you can easily identify which selfie was shot with the Realme 5 and which selfie was shot with the Realme 5i, because the 13 megapixel camera on the Realme 5, it just captures more detail. Zooming in, Karthik's brows and the details on his cheek, they look softer on the 8 megapixel shot taken by the Realme 5i. I personally prefer the colors on the Realme 5 as well. When it comes to the selfie portraits, neither of them are perfect at edge deduction, but the 5 does seem to do a better job. Take for example the blur along the right ear here. That said, the 5i does do okay with selfies. The dynamic range is good, the support for HDR, the images captured by this 8 megapixel snapper should in most cases be good enough for uploading to social media sites. So okay, they've downgraded the selfie shooter. Now does this mean they've dropped the price? Yes and no. The Realme 5i replaces the Realme 5. The base price is still the same, it's still $8,999. So what is Realme actually doing here? They're selling a lower version of the Realme 5 at the same starting price. Now, it's not really disappointing because there is another change. The internals. The 8999 Realme 5 came with 3 gigs of RAM and 32 gigs of onboard storage. The 5i, on the other hand, comes with an extra gig of RAM at 4 gigs and twice the onboard storage at 64 gigs. So you can either say they added a gig of RAM and doubled the storage at the same price, or say they cut 1000 rupees since the 464 Realme 5, it launched at 9999. Personally, I'm quite happy to see the 5i since yeah, the selfie camera has taken a hit, yes, but it's still quite serviceable. But the storage and the RAM, they are things you're gonna notice more with day-to-day use. And at 1K more, the Realme 5S at 464 the 464 variant of it with the 13 megapixel selfie camera, the 48 megapixel rear camera. It offers better optics if that's what you want. So you basically get both options, best of both worlds here. At least that's how I feel about this. What about you? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Now, rest of the 5i, it's identical to the Realme 5, and here's a card to my detailed hands-on video of that phone. But in case you don't want to go through the entire video, here's a quick little refresher. The short version. The screen, it's a 6.5-inch IPS panel with a HD plus resolution and a dewdrop notch up top. Protecting it is Corning's Gorilla Glass 3 Plus. Internally, we have the Snapdragon 665 SoC, and like I mentioned earlier, it's paired with 4 gigs of RAM and 64 gigs of onboard storage. The dedicated micro SD option also makes a return, so there is room for further memory expansion. Overall, for a sub 10K device, the performance here is pretty great. Powering all of this is a massive 5000 mAh battery, and going by previous experience, the battery life on the Realme 5i should be great. There is no fast charging though, just the 10-watt charger, and no Type-C either. The software is ColorOS 6 based on Android 9 Pie, and ColorOS 7 based on Android 10 should be out soon. And yep, along with it will be app recommendations, aka ads in the interface. But unlike the competition, Realme will at least be providing an option to turn them off via the settings. Now, is that worth much? You tell me. The rear camera, it's a 12 megapixel sensor paired with a f1.8 lens. While not as good as the 48 megapixel sensor on the 5S, it still gets decent enough shots. And next we have an 8 megapixel f2.3 ultra wide. The third is a 2 megapixel macro, and finally another 2 megapixel sensor, but this time it's a depth sensor that basically helps out with portrait shots like this. So this is the same camera setup that we've seen with the Realme 5, and that's pretty much it for this quick little unboxing and hands-on with the 5i. So what do you feel about this new offering from Realme? What are your thoughts? How do you feel about this? What do you think about the pricing? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And I guess that's pretty much it. Thumbs up, thumbs down based on whatever you felt about this video. Subscribe, turn on notifications by hitting that bell icon if you haven't yet. Thanks a lot for watching. Till next time, my name's Ash. You've been watching C4E Tech, and I'm signing off for now. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.